Ring, second join us. All right, this is midnight. It's Tuesday night. Tuesday is usually the day where they implement some kind of agenda, timeline for the week or for the rest of the year. We'll just have to see with that. I do feel like there's some Bitcoin energies that might be, I don't know, I came out of nowhere, that might be screwing around with. So we'll see on that one. So yes, UFO disclosure, Utah area, connected to nine-dimensional energies. Did yesterday. Yeah, those guys are fun. At least they seem like they can go into the areas that others don't. So connected to nine-dimensional energies about the government and the cover up things of that sort. See, the best we can get into. It also felt with Egyptian vortexes. There might be some of those energies activating more. Of course, we have some Egyptian energy here in the U.S., like the Grand Canyon. Of course, that's all conspiracy theory, but I believe they found Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon, so there is some Egyptian energy there somehow, some way. I'm not going into too much details on that. And also the Roswell frequencies we'll tap into. It's the Roswell anniversary. I might go more into that tomorrow also, so we'll tap into that. I forgot about it actually. So I guess it's 75 years, something like that. So, all right, let me check something real quick here. Okay, that's what I figured. Let me delete something here. Sometimes it shows like two streams that I have. I only have one, so it has. When I create the stream, it has different. This new setup, it has problems creating a stream, so it creates one. It creates a couple of them. So if you see like two or three of them on one, it's just having issues to connecting to YouTube and things of that kind of. I'm not sure if anybody understands what I'm talking about, but okay, we'll just see what we got here. The ninth-dimensional Palladium beings, or the ninth-dimensional somebody. They're a little bit of everybody. Let's see what they have to say about all this. And and CERN is going to space. CERN has some kind of thing. I think they're already in space anyway, actually. So I'm not going into too much detail on that. So I'm total comment prayer sessions. Scheduler. Shop here. I'm somewhere in the last month. Same situation here with that webinar. Social networking behind the scenes. Make sure I'm all set up here. Yep, okay. All right. We'll tap into Utah area. I don't have to go in. Basically, there's sightings in Utah. There are most likely bases. Of course, is it Utah that has the Mormons and all that? I think so, right? Yeah. Is it Salt Lake City, Utah? Yeah, that's just another secret society. Yeah. They say that there's not secret societies running everything, but then again, you look at all the churches and all that. And just because people have not connected to some of these people that run the earth, there's several of them. It's not just one group, but anyway, they're not going to make themselves known, that's for sure. So I'm not sure if you want to know them, actually. So yeah, some of them, some of the elite energies, some of them can shape shift a little bit. Not that they're shape shifting a lot. You never know. I don't think they're like half man, half reptilian. You never know on that one, but they definitely have a shape shift. Well, there are magicians here that keep themselves completely hidden for obvious reasons. So it's not for your common YouTuber or influential people. It's not for that. So yeah, right. They're not going to be doing podcasts and singing songs online or whatever. We're not going to be doing any of that stuff. So, okay, all right. Well, yeah, they're connected to ancient mythology. They are real, though, but they're connected to the mythical beings. Interesting. So I'm tapping into it without trying to. So the black magicians that we don't see, they connect to like ancient mythology, the serpents, the Egyptian energies, Egyptian kings, and all that. They just connect to whatever wherever they can get their power from. So they communicate with the dead. They communicate kind of like what Aleister Crowley was kind of doing, but much worse. And they're here currently. It's just not for your average person, though. Yeah. So that was different. I wasn't expecting that one. So, yeah, but I felt the mythology, which makes sense. They just don't talk in normal human. I mean, they talk like regular people, not really. They look at things a lot differently. That's all. That's like many that here that are awakening, connected to the fourth and fifth dimensions and all that. You don't talk like normal people anymore. You don't interact like everyone else. So it just makes it more harder to be here. That's all. So okay, all right. Okay, here we go. Blessings. Greetings to you. Yes, we are from the ninth dimension. Blessings. Ninth dimension council. Greetings. We have been here before. So Utah is you can say during your 1940s, it's made to more like a militaristic energy field. It was before then also, but around your 1940s, where it really became more active. As for underground bases and things of that kind, there has been a lot of sacrifices there, you can say. But something you can tap into those frequencies. It's very dense in some places. But the alien energies, there are positive alien beings there, but there's also a lot of malevolent beings there. Of course, that's everywhere. But those type of places also can share, or appear reptilian beings can make appearances there, depending on what kind of frequency you're at. They actually tap into their energy field. Even see them walking around. Of course, you have to be in a kind of more of like a desert type of area. um, it all depends on, so as humans are evolving, shifting more from the third dimension into the fourth, you see more of this evolving around you as you just basically you're not here anymore. Some of you are more off planet than you've ever realized, and that energy will continue to increase. Of course, there are some that don't want you to connect for obvious reasons. You're basically become more alien. As you become more alien, it becomes more difficult being a human here, as many of you are realizing that. And it will continue to increase, become more difficult, as basically this third dimension energy, it's going to fight, it's going to try to stay alive with you, but basically is removing from your reality. So as you move the third dimension reality, more of the fourth and fifth dimensions start to come in, where you see more alien beings, and it might get overcrowded. So obviously, it's not for everybody. So there's a 5D frequency many are actually tapping to currently. Also, for the ships, you bring in those ships into your environment when the time is right. There's certain reasons for it. Ships come in different, when they feel like they are needed. Of course, there's malevolent beings that are flying around all the time, especially around the military bases. But there are also malevolent beings around the military bases to heal those frequencies. He said the army feels like they have an understanding of all of this, at least the secret army, but not necessarily, no. But I think it's all drug traffickers and things like that. I think it's some other government, but it really isn't. It is basically off world, and some of these beings are making themselves known. There is, of course, a secret space program that is toying around with your modern governments for obvious reasons. Well, they're just seeing where their technology is, but it's not very often when they do it, because they're not really stable of their technology yet. As much as you might say that they are, not really. Well, because their technology can go against them. Meaning their ship can fight against them. It can reject them. It's like, we're not doing this anymore. Like, you're piloting your ship. It's like, we don't like you anymore. And the ship can actually deactivate and turn off. Obviously, you don't see that here in your physical realm. Well, the fourth dimension has gotten stronger here for alien contact. I mean, it's more difficult basically for ships to be seen here. It's just become more dense as your reality becomes more dense. But realize how many people are becoming more focused on their phones, looking down a lot, keeping more focus on television. It's all just to keep you away from the other dimensions that are here. So if you turn all of that off, you turn off all the TVs, you turn all the radios, turn everything off, and you just have silence. After a couple of days, or 10 days, 20 days, maybe a year for some, you start feeling the other dimensions that are around you. And you start seeing things that you wouldn't normally see. So you're kind of getting an idea of why the grid that they're creating around you, yeah, it's trying to make money and all that, but really it comes down to entertain, but really other things to get you away from the agenda. As you go more quieter and you just remove from all this space, like you go somewhere that's in the middle of nowhere for like a month or two. Some of you wonder why you live out in the middle of nowhere. Well, there's reasons for it, so you can see the reality clearer. Because if you're in the middle of, especially in a city, it's all coming down on top of you. But some of you are used to it, meaning you can still connect to the higher frequencies and still be in the city at the same time. But not everybody's equipped for that. Some of you, yeah, are in the trenches, you could say. That's the war zone, basically. I like World War One. You're in the trenches. It's kind of like that. We're in the digital trenches, the digital AI. And you might see a spider, like a giant spider climbing a building or some kind of, intergalactic energy. Might, yeah, not for your normal people, but and you also, it depends on how you tune into the frequencies. You can also walk through a city and feel like how alien it truly is. Basically, the people aren't really who you think they are. You can also pick up matrix people, alien people, depending on how you are connected. This is not for everybody, of course. Your average person taps into it also. They're just not aware of what it is. So it's like, oh, those people feel a little strange over there, but don't think anything of it. So they're not fully activated. But as you're becoming more activated, you see more of this. And yeah, so you think you're weird now. Things get more and more bizarre. What becomes more alien? Your physical, and this is part of your dimension that you're coming in, basically for this earth. Yeah, so you're going to sound like a crazy person, basically. But that's it's all what's already here. You just don't see it here in the physical realm because there's agendas here. So you're in a timeline for all of this to start breaking down. Obviously, it's not going to happen instantly, but it is and it works. Utah is a place of disclosure. So those that live in the Utah area, they probably do feel like, especially when you're in awakened states, basically aware of the alien frequencies, you can sometimes tap into the alien energies, and it's where you're posted. It's your place. It's your assignment to see it from that point of view. But you're also sending signals to other alien beings, your ships. You just might not be aware of it physically. But more of that it'll come through when it needs to. So if you get a feline energy in your mind, most likely you're connected to a feline energy, and so on. And some of you are connected to tall white energies. Not a whole lot of people connected to tall whites. There are certain individuals that are connected, but all you're connected to so many different groups. It's a little difficult for you to all intermingle. You're not always there. I mean, you have pretty much the same agendas for the awakening, but it doesn't mean you always have to communicate with each other, at least here physically. Whereas if you all get together in one group, it can sometimes, like you're wondering why you're not part of an alien group, it can sometimes dampen your connections. Meaning sometimes you're better off not in an alien group. I mean, you might be in an alien group online to a certain level, but physically or with nobody. It's just to help you with your connection. Because it can confuse you and break you down, meaning so you can't focus on what your mission is here. It might be lonely, but yes, it's necessary. So you're part of communications, though. Obviously, here in the physical, it's like, what are you talking about? But if you're galactically becoming more mature, you are sending signals. You need to be away from everyone, but it can become easier for you if you become more aware of your ability. Everyone's stationed in a certain place for certain reasons. And eventually that will become more clear, but obviously they're not going to make everything clear enough because, yes, there's There's just reasons for it. The Roswell energy, obviously, there are many that are trying to block that knowledge. But obviously, many are just like, we know what happened here. You can say it didn't happen all day long. It happened here. You're not going to change our minds. Obviously, there's always going to be someone to debunk it. Well, some are not ready for those experiences. They want the human experience and they're not ready for the alien. It can be too alien for them. So being thankful you have this type of frequency here, the alien energies, the Roswells and extraterrestrial avenue and so on. It does help you in this disclosure. It's not easy, obviously, but you also see where even those that are spiritual are not quite ready. Yes, they might only see the lighter side of it, but some of you are seeing all sides of it. Because not everyone can handle the lower, the higher, all of it. They can't handle everything. And some would rather dismiss it altogether. And those are spiritually awakened people. They're just not ready for it. They're having fun in the human experience, they're having fun being spiritual, talking about aliens, but they don't want to physically connect to them because they're just not ready for it. But some of you are identifying more of that, as you can see. So, blessings. Greetings to you. We are the Egyptian consciousness. We're also the Syrian frequencies. Many Syrians came here to assist humans in discovering more about your abilities. Of course, humans were disconnected for a lot of alien beings just cut humans off from their power. As more humans were getting actually more powerful, even more stable, because humans were connecting to their superpowers, you can say, but they weren't able to always manage it well. But that's what the aliens are here to help with that. But there was other alien groups that interfered with it. Some of you might remember some of those details, similar to like the Atlanteans not really liking seeing humans becoming similar to Atlanteans in power range, meaning that you're upgrading yourselves. And some of you might remember it's not a lot in your human group, but some of you experience that, especially those of you who have a healing ability. Remember, at one time you had a powerful healing ability, and currently in this reality can also cause a form of depression. Because you can't access that healing ability in this lifetime. It's the human evolution, all these wars is this disconnect from the power of the astral. But that was the point for the time. And now you're here to reactivate everything. It's a slow activation, though. It's not an easy, or to take it more seriously. And some of you are, but some are still not quite understanding all of this. But there will be a time when your power will, for some of you, your powers will reactivate. Maybe not in the way that you thought they would. Maybe not at full range as you like to, but feeling more connected than before. It just more and more likely to be an intuition connection than be able to move buildings and things like that or fly. Now, your memories of flying or having a great amount of power will probably come back to you. So that's a download to remember that you are capable of these things. But that doesn't mean you're going to be doing it just yet. Humans aren't quite ready for flying people just yet. But if you remember it, you think about it, it brings happiness to most likely you experienced it. If you're minding your own business and all of a sudden you just get a vibe of flying or some other power, telekinesis, telepathic ability, that shows you're reactivating your source, your own inner source. And when you become aware of this, you become aware of the beings that shut it down. Some of those are reptilian beings, and not all reptilian, but some of them are. And so that's another reason why there's such a denseness, because a lot of alien groups don't feel like humans are ready for their power just yet. Now, that might be selfish on their end. So there's a little bit of a galactic war of who's ready, who's not. And you're just living your normal life. You're living the human experience. Of course, this human experience here has been downgraded greatly compared to other worlds. Some of you probably know that. A human experience can have more fulfillment. You can be able to have more free will, power. You're not feeling stuck at a job. You might have a job, but you feel like you're still more alive, more active. Just, you might have your everyday life, but you still have a active personal life where it's very, moving, and just it's just different than what you're experiencing now. As the world has become more dense once again, because that has become more powerful, the world can see more because there are beings trying to block your abilities. So just become aware of that. But doesn't mean you're not going to activate. You're going to activate something. That's all we could say with that. We don't know what exactly can go to you individually. But there is activations. Really, you're doing on a physical third dimension. Realize what you're dealing with here. You're dealing with alien beings here that you don't see, that are not really interested in a super powered human just yet. I mean, obviously they feel like they're more powerful than human. Obviously, they're the ones that shut you down to begin with. But memories of the aliens that shut you down can come back to you also. Like that whole story, it might come in fragments depending on who you are. So let's just... brings you. We are the consciousness of Roswell. We are the Greys. We do feel like your government did turn against us, as we were not. Of course, there's always going to be a debate of that. But a lot of aliens groups feel like the government went against the aliens. It was like a war between humans and aliens. That's kind of still going on. I think you have an awareness of that. In your Nevada Valley, Utah, there's some of that, was mostly in Nevada. Your Area 51, basically, a lot of alien groups do not want Area 51 being built. They don't want any of these facilities here. That causes, to lock down the alien technology and want it to become more known. And so there has been galactic wars to keep this all hidden from you. And yes, the human. Why do you think there's so much information tried to debunk it to shut it down? Obviously, there's nothing wrong with discernment. That's quite fine, but there are agendas to shut it down completely. Doesn't mean that humans aren't ready for it. Humans, I mean, it can still be active here. You can have one part of your world where there's aliens, another part of your world there's none. Is this their agenda to keep it hidden? Obviously, they can't keep it too hidden because you have Roswell and you have other Area 51 areas. They're just the people here just don't want to be. They're tired of being fooled. They know what the government corruption truly is, so they're going against it, no matter what others think. They know it in their blood. They know this is not a hoax. They know it's real, and obviously, it's not an easy route to go, but it's going to be kind of a mystery for some time. Doesn't mean won't have disclosures. There's a possibility of some alien groups leaking out more knowledge about themselves, like what aliens went through here. Like government documents of what actually, and it's not fake. It's real. Obviously, your human race has been so shut down recently for any real knowledge to be brought to you, because many will feel like it's fake, but it doesn't mean it will be. Well, the agendas here is your current government. Obviously, you see your current governments are corrupt, and they are showing their true colors, that they don't care about anything anymore. So eventually, when they don't care at all, eventually they'll bring up alien knowledge. But they want to see one of the reasons why they have not let alien knowledge, because they want to control it. If there's going to be any alien disclosure, they want ruling over all of it. And they want to just run the narrative. So this is another reason why there has not been disclosure on the public forum. Of course, your government is not going to do it, but it is kind of tearing themselves apart internally. Now, some might not think that way, but it kind of is. It's like an open secret. It's like the worst secret kept secret, especially when you see the technologies of some of these ships that just what's made public, your military. They can't hide everything. But of course, they work the other way. Yeah, society as advanced, as intelligent as the human race is, um, having that type of technology out of nowhere is unlikely. A lot of it was developed in World War II and, of course, advanced over time. The stealth technology is one of the most advanced technologies. Of course, is more advanced than that, but still one of the more public advanced technologies. And if you have stealth technologies, obviously they can make your life a lot easier on other levels. Also, like food processing, farming, they can improve on a lot of things. And some of you already know this. Obviously, kept back to keep you in the third dimension, keep you shut down. Because as they give you more advanced technologies, I think some of you already know this, you evolve to a higher level, basically making your life easier. So like living out in the middle of nowhere, you have certain things that you need, you evolve if you're there, if you are able to evolve. Not everybody's there to evolve, but some of you can, have these manipulations, but technology can be used to help you move up a level also. Not that you need to be reliant on it, but if you're living in a city or something like that, meaning you can live in a city and still be at a high vibration. Some of you are living in cities, some of you are high vibration, but you can actually upgrade that because you are working with technology alone, not to become reliant on it. But it's living an easier, simpler life and moving up the levels. Obviously, all this chaos is done for a reason to keep you in the physical dimension. They're trying to keep a cap on you. It's not working for many of you, obviously. And continue. And a lot of it will be disclosed, meaning all these chaos timelines that they're trying to create, they're all slowly dismantling. They're not as powerful because they're trying to cause famine here and all kinds of things. None of it's working as it once thought it was. Even the CERN technology isn't as powerful as it used to be. So, it's not game over yet, but you are heading towards that.